Hi, hello. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, you're welcome. My name is Rosemary and I'm the Black Scribbler, and today we're going to be talking about my favorites from the month of January. So we have books, music, podcasts, apps, journals and journal prompts, all of those self-help, self-awareness genre. Do not forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed. Leave a like and a comment of what your favorites were in these different segments as we proceed with the video. When you subscribe, please hit the notification bell so you're notified when I post new videos on Mondays and Thursdays. Let go. So for the month of January, I'm reading 3 books. January has not ended, but these are the 3 books I have consumed so far. I'm still reading this one, almost done. Let's start with Every Word You Cannot Say, right? So this book I have read twice now. It's by Ian S. Thomas. This is it, like so. Yep. When I tell you that I am in love with a book, right? If they say, hello dear, what book would you love to have a love story about or with? I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just trying to say that I love the book, right? It's a collection of poems, but it tells one story. I don't know how he was able to do this. It's like mind-blowing. So the whole book, as it says, everything you cannot say, all the emotions you feel you shouldn't feel, or the way you think you shouldn't feel, and all of those things. But it's like one story. There are different poems and different things, but it tells the same story. See, please dear, if you can actually get this book, it's so beautiful. I always annotate my books. So there's this one saying, so go forward into bright light. If you love hard enough, your feet leave the ground and you just kind of hang in the air, and that feels good. So love, because love is good, because it feels like you're floating. And I wrote, love scares me because it means opening up, and most days I do not like me, so I fear no one will truly like me if they see within me. Here is one that I just did like a big circle on. Wait, we are doing nothing wrong. There is only one real sin in the end, and that is not being who you are, not listening to your soul, and forgetting who you wanted to be. It's hard, but without anything to overcome, we would not become ourselves. Sometimes this is all meant to be hard. It's okay to struggle. Like, the book is freaking beautiful. So it's a very lovely book. It's poetry, but it's motivating and it's uplifting, and when you read it, you're just going to be like, cool. I'm not alone in this, literally. So definitely enjoys that and recommend it. The next book I read was Blink, by the author of Tipping Points, Malcolm Gladwell. So Blink by Malcolm Gladwell. Now, basically, this book is for anyone who enjoys psychology. It talks about tapping into your subconscious mind and how we do not even realize how much our subconscious mind controls us and how much it propels us to make the decisions we do. It talks about experimentation. So he's like, I'm not talking out of my ass, right? There are experiments and studies that support what I'm saying here, and he shares tips on how to better follow your intuition and your gut feeling. There's this really interesting analogy he made, or story he told, about a fake sculpture that was found, and they were like, oh, it's a particular sculpture that everyone has been looking for. and they tried to authenticate it, and it's almost passed the test. And people who study Greek sculptures came in and they're like, something just doesn't feel right about it. I don't know what it is, but something doesn't feel right about it. And then they did further probing and found out it was a fake. And the people who said something did not feel right about it still do not know why. It's not like any one thing was wrong with it, because from seeing it, I mean, the thing even confused the scientific tests, you know. So it's really interesting to know that, to know the power you can hold if and when you are able to lean into your subconscious mind. Amazing stuff. And he also talked about how sometimes it's not the length of time you take to mull over a decision that proves it's the right decision, right? Sometimes you just go with your gut. What feels right in that moment is what's right. And that made me go, like, it was part of what inspired me to make my video, Decisions and Choices. I'll leave it linked somewhere and you guys can check that out. Beautiful book. Now, Storyteller. This book has a story. This book has a story, right? I bought this book in 2018 actually. I bought this book in 2018 and I had read only a few pages and I dumped it. So I found it's a book by Morgan Harper Nichols, right? And I found her on Instagram. I subscribed to her app, and then the other day I was like, oh, if she has this app, I'm sure she should have a book. Like, her stuff is really good. So I go on her website and I see this book, and I'm like, this book looks so familiar. I feel like I should have this book, or I have seen it. So I decided to check my collection of books, and what do you know, I had it. Good thing I didn't buy another copy. It's 100 poem letters. It's a collection of 100 poems, and the way it's written is not about any one particular thing. They are all uplifting poems. They are basically all motivational pieces, but written in poetic manners. So at the beginning it says, for the girl closing her eyes on the long train ride. It's like each piece is for someone specific. For the lone tree next to the side of the house, for the one looking at old photographs, for the friend waiting for answers. So with this one I started using post-it notes so I don't just scribble in the book, you know, try to make things look better. Okay, so it says, for Courtney, 16-year-old, don't be troubled by the mountaintops you have yet to touch. Like a tree you will grow, not from the sky but from the ground up. And I made like an annotation where I said, I know you want to be the best, you have big dreams, great goals. Some goals may seem too great to achieve, but remember, it takes time, effort and patience, a great deal of patience. Breathe and keep going. For the gardener, you reap what you sow. So sow well. Sow seeds of faith over seeds of doubt. Sow seeds of peace over seeds of worry. Sow seeds of love over seeds of fear. And if in the past you sowed what you did not need, there is nothing that says you must keep watering those things. Leave them alone, let them die. Make room to only sow things that bring life. I really love this piece. The part of this piece that really stands out to me is, and if in the past you sowed what you did not need, there is nothing that says you must keep watering those things, you know. Mistakes are not, I wrote an annotation, so I'm reading that. Mistakes are not the end of the world. You always have a choice to fix things. You have room to move on. You have a chance to try something different. So take that chance. I really love this book. I'm not done. I'm almost done. So interesting stuff. Good Influence by Gemma. Love it. She basically interviews people from different spheres of life. I really love her episode with Charlie Cox. Beautiful stuff. Talked about mental health and advocating for mental health, and they also talked about, despite the fact that we are more open to the conversations around mental health, it's more in a fashionable way than in a solution driven way. So we're talking about it, but we're not really doing anything about it, you know. I mean, it's a step forward Now it's no longer an abomination topic, but now it's almost trendy, and it's like it's not really helpful to make it trendy. People make jokes and like, my anxiety could never, and I'm like, do you know what it feels like to have anxiety? But okay, cool. But yeah, love that episode. There is always something for you, there's something for you, there's something to learn. Even if you don't listen to all the episodes, you always have one or two that would catch your fancy. Joel Osteen podcast. Now, Joel Osteen is a pastor. He cracks me up. Like, he's so funny. He brings so much life into what he's saying, and he starts his podcast with a joke. That's basically it. That's what sums up the whole thing. And he talks in such a conversational manner. He's talking about God, but he's not making it very preachy and very shoving down your throat. It's very conversational. It's very, enjoyable and digestible. So I actually love Joel Osteen podcast. Now, the moment I have been waiting for, you have been waiting for, we have all been waiting for. Let's talk about music. I have I've always loved music, yeah, but throughout the duration of lockdown, so from March 2020, music took a greater role in my life. Like, music literally held me together, and my favorite thing now is to discover new music. And the best place to discover new music is TikTok, honestly. My best musical discovery, I think, in my entire life is Rescue by Daigle. Listen. I'm speechless. The lyrics just gives me life. There is this sense of security. I don't think I've ever felt so connected to this song before in my life, the way I feel connected to this song. Yeah, I'm really in love with NF's album. Like, anything NF can literally sign a check for my soul right now, and I'll hand it over. I've been loving NF's Therapy Session album. Love that as well. I never listen to rap. Like, if I know it's rap, I just carry my slippers and I'm running away. But with NF, it's more like spoken word poetry with music. You can hear what he's saying and you can feel it, and it's beautiful stuff. Love it. You should listen to it if you've not. Like, basically, yeah, if there's any one thing you take from this video, please listen to Rescue by Lauren. That's all. If you do that for me, I'm like satisfied in life. That's it. On the journal front, I have this journal called Heart Talk by Chloe. So hold on. She has Heart Talk, the book, which is a masterpiece. And so when I realized that she released a journal for it, I had to get it. It's basically a weekly journal where you take stock of how you're feeling and stuff. Last week was My Peace Belongs to Me and Me Alone, and say sometimes when the world feels hectic or we get annoyed with someone or something, we feel robbed of our peace. Know that nothing can truly take your peace away, and if you feel you have lost it, it's always available for you to reclaim. What brings you peace? What gives you peace of mind? Share it on these pages and visit your peaceful thoughts whenever you need a reminder. They have the power to act as life rafts when the waters of the world feel like they are rising above our head. And then there is a prompt that says, I feel peace when, and you just get to write and write. And yeah, it's really interesting. It allows room for self-reflection and it's beautiful. The AkwaBrazillian on Instagram, she does daily journal prompts. So even if you don't even if you're not going to check it every day, at the end of the week she makes a post where you see all the daily prompts, and sometimes I just go through and check for a prompt and I write in my normal journal about that. It's also interesting, you know. Morgan Harper Nichols, she has an app called Storyteller where it sends you prompts. I would insert like an interface of the app here, and it's like a blog and Instagram in one. It's really cute. Well, not Instagram, but you get like a beautiful graphic wallpaper type thing, and then you get to read the whole piece like a blog post on your phone. It's really interesting. I love it. And I recently stumbled on the practice score, which is kind of similar to Storyteller, but the practice score is more Christian based, because at the beginning of every piece, every blog post, she puts a scripture. So they basically have the same interface as you can see from the screen. But yeah, as we go into the next month, or as we continue in February, try as much as possible to be flexible and go with the flow. Yes, you have your plans and you have all of these things, but allow yourself grow with the times and the tides. Ooh, sick. Allow yourself grow and allow yourself enjoy the moments, and be open to opportunities, because the opportunities are everywhere. So make sure you are open and available to these things, and you know, it's a lovely time. Allow yourself enjoy life, because that's all you can really do. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You are loved, you are amazing. I need to drink coffee because it's very evident I'm working on zero sleep. But yeah, you are loved, you're amazing, you have a valid reason to be here, you are needed and wanted. You're a hot bowl of spicy jollof, and what's a better place with you in it? Stay shining.